Come on, what are you saying now?
Hi and welcome to another Married to Reselling video. My name's Simon and together with my wife Faye, we resell mainly on eBay and Amazon in the UK. Coming up very soon in this video, we are showing some stuff that we've sold on the marketplaces recently. But first we're revisiting a recent video and we have an update.
So this was the video that we made. We showed the table. This was just after Faye got it, folding it out, popping the tabletop on. And we sold it for $106.94 including postage. The guy it sold to, we noticed that he was a dealer, not a problem at all. This was the stuff he had for sale. Then we got a message, table arrived today and it's broken. She sent some pictures, there's some broken wood. We said thanks very much, can't work out how that happened, it was really well packed. And he used that bullying tactic that he was going to speak to eBay. But we said no, you're going to have to return it. Which he replied that he's going to get it repaired for £20 and that he was disabled and couldn't get to the post office to return it. And he wanted us to cover the cost of that and we refused and said please send it back. Nothing happened for a few days and then we received positive feedback with no other communication from the buyer after we refused the partial refund and insisted that they returned it. The reason we made that video was to drum home our opinion that you shouldn't be bullied, you should always offer returns, you will win in the long run. But of course people took exception to this and the video lit up with clueless comments like this.
So you sold something you got for free and you're now whining that someone is scamming you.
Wow, first the bobble wrap, now the £20. You guys must be really hard up. I mean, other people would just give them the £20 and be done with it, but you guys, that's a lot of money to you.
Now this person's a professional YouTube commenter.
I wonder if he was just honest and just asked for a partial refund, would they have gotten on? Sorry, I bought this for £100 to resell. Unfortunately, the condition is far worse than I thought, and restoring it would cost me more than I thought and eat into my profits. Can you please offer me a partial refund to cover the work needed?
To which we replied, well, they would have had to have sent it back anyway. If they didn't like it for the price they paid, someone else would. And here comes the craziness.
Really? Is it worth it? The hassle, you got it for free. You would really ask for it back, open it up, inspect it, and then list it all over again for someone else? Petty much?
But I have saved a special place for Mr. Oh So Honest.
What an obnoxious pair you two are. Guy says he's disabled and you automatically assume that he's lying. You don't realise how despicable you behaved. You've managed to trick a disabled person out of £20. What a pair of lowlifes.
That's right, someone's trying to scam us and we're the lowlives. So sure enough, we had a look at their eBay shop and here it is. Here's our table listed. Do you want to know how we know this is our table? Because when we look at the pictures, we can see this mark. You can see it there. You can see it really, really clearly right there. And you can also see the light wood. Just to show it is the same item, 100%. And there it is on our listing, the mark and that light wood. But it wasn't the tabletop that was damaged, I hear you say, it was the legs. So maybe this is your tabletop with some other legs. Well, we had a look at that as well. And you can see that little nick, that little notch in the leg there on their listing. And when we look at our listing, we can see exactly the same nick, notch, whatever you want to call it, in our photographs. And I was just highlighting that dark wispy pattern around that nick in ours and the same dark wispy pattern around it in their photos. So I jumped on my private eBay account and thought I'd just send them a little message. Hi, I'm interested in two of your items. I was just wondering, as you've said, excellent condition on both. Does this mean they haven't had any repairs or anything? I'm just wondering because one is 200, the other's 400. And I put two item numbers. I put the item number of the item that we believe is ours and another item. Also, I could see, it said excellent condition. I looked at both those listings that I asked them about. Both said excellent condition. No mention of any repairs or anything like that in those listings. And I got a reply which said the price difference is because one is higher quality than the other, more intricate detail, etc. The prices also reflect the price I have to buy them from antique fairs. Basically completely avoided the question. I was asking if anything had had repairs. And those messages were exchanged on the 22nd of December. So I clarified my question, have they been repaired at all? And they replied very clearly, no repairs. Also very interesting that they couldn't do the return because they were disabled, yet here we go, they shipped their items with Royal Mail. And here we go, boom, 4 days later they sold said table, our table that they said arrived damaged. They wanted £20 off and they sold it for £394. Now, just to reiterate, we don't mind that they bought it off us and made money. That is exactly what we do. That is reselling. That's absolutely fine. But to tell us that it arrived broken and then resell the same item with no repairs, what are you saying now, Mr. Oh So Honest? Come on, what are you saying now? Coronally called it, keep an eye on his listings. I bet he'll wait a few weeks and then it'll suddenly appear for sale with no mention of any damage or repairs. Absolutely spot on.
So there it is. What did you think? Don't be bullied into doing something that doesn't feel right. Now it's time for some sales from the barn.
We've got this Cluedo Lost in Vegas board game, and this sold for $7.99 plus post, and we had a message alongside the order that says, love your YouTube channel, thanks for all your helpful content and hope you have a happy prosperous new year, Mandy. Thank you, Mandy.
Happy New Year, Mandy. Thanks for your purchase. Thank you very much.
Shelf vintage ginger jar shaped table lamp blue. That cost £3.50, sold within 2 months for $39.99 plus post. Crate 19.
Yeah.
Vintage pressed glass vase, chunky, clear, flower, scalloped edge. It's like a tapered base and it gets wider towards the top.
That one?
Yes, that is it. That cost 70p and sold for £8.67 plus post within about 4 months. Random.
Yeah.
Inox stainless steel framed crystal glass condiment dish. That is it. That cost 93p. Took 16 months to sell for $13.99. Then on the table we have a tiny little antique Bristol blue glass jug. That cost £5.71 and sold for $29.99 within a week. Then we've got Art 27.
Things that are already on the table are either because they're stored inside and brought down, or they sold too fast to put away.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Art 27.
Yeah.
It's at the top. At the top, first one. One of the original pieces of art that we got. That's it. It's a Natalia Basilic original oil painting art of purple lilac flowers. That cost £1.44, took 5 months to sell for £58.82 plus post.
I think we got some help on Instagram with that one, didn't we?
I think we did, yes, because I needed help knowing what language the signature was.
Yeah.
Then on the table we have Vernon Kay's All-Star Family Fortunes board game. That cost £1.50 and sold for $19.99 plus post within a week.
Can't put it on Amazon anymore.
Also on the table we have this vintage Bristol blue glass decanter with original stopper. That cost £5.71, sold for $49.99 within a week. And we also have a cassette tape job lot, a 60 job lot vintage mixed various genres and artists. Cost £2.50, sold for £21 plus post within a week. And then we have this vintage Crown Devon Charles Dickens Fellowship Christmas Carol plate. That cost £1.35 and sold for £8.99 plus post within a couple of hours.
Oh yeah, so this was in the small auction box 2, wasn't it, with the teas made?
Ah, okay. Then we've got Clock Tub.
Yeah.
Vintage corkscrews and bottle openers, job lot of 10 items. They're right at the bottom under those Tupperware pots. These were just like in like a random lot of stuff from auction, so I just grouped them together. They cost 82p and sold for £6.67 plus post within 2.5 months. Then we have these John Lewis leather gloves, large in olive green. It didn't really cost anything because I bought a bag from a garage sale in the summer. Really lovely, fossil, hardly used, beautiful bag. And these were in there and they sold for $9.99 plus post within 2 days. And then we've got these 2 Strongbow cider pint glasses and they cost nothing and sold for £9 within a month.
They're used.
And they're going GSP somewhere.
Ooh.
to America. We've got these vintage brass cauldron planters. There's 3 of them in a set. They're kind of ornate feet on the bottom, slightly smaller each time. They cost £4, sold within a couple of weeks for £27.99 plus post. Then we've got this vintage Bristol blue glass posy vase, cost a £5, sold for £19.99 plus post within a couple of days. Then we've got this vintage weather station by Cuckoo Clock MFG Co. That costs £4, sold within 3 months for £20, and that's going GSP to Lanzarote, I think. Then we've got this Maison antique style frame, 8x6 inch distressed wood effect. That costs 50p, sold within 2 months for £9.99 plus post. And then we've got this Pure Evoke 2 DAB FM digital radio with manual and plug. That costs 70p, sold within a week for £24.99 plus post. We have got this massive vintage Spitfire signed oil painting print by Barry A.F. Clark. That costs £2.
It's like over a metre, isn't it? It's massive.
It's massive. Huge. But that's sold within like 48 hours for £50 plus post.
It's finally got round to listing it. We got it at a garage sale in the spring.
Next, we've got this vintage A-Treen spot on ceramics Australia sleeping duck or goose. Cost 53p. Took 9 months to sell for £7.47 plus post. Then we've got this vintage Wedgwood Campion Trio cup saucer side plate. This is the last of the Wedgwood Campion to go. This cost 70p and sold for £17.47.
Well worth picking up, Campion.
Then we've got this job lot of cassette tapes. There's 60 of them. We bought loads.
2 crates.
2 massive tubs, weren't they? Ages ago. Listed them like 2 days ago in batches. So this is batch 1 and this cost £2.50 and sold for £24.99 plus post. Then we've got this vintage Johnson Brothers Summer Chintz gravy sauce boat and stand. That costs £2. That's sold within 7 months for £15.99. Then we've got this Roberts Classic DAB portable radio without a cable. That costs 70p and sold for £14.99 plus post within a week. Then we've got this Noritake Madeira spruce gravy boat. This is the second one that's sold in the last week or so. That costs £1.21, sold within 3 months of £14.99 plus post. Then we've got this Massimo Dutti men's cardigan shacket thing. It's mohair and yak wool. It costs £3 and sold for £59.99 plus post within a week. And then we've got this dude. He is a Schleich stone monster from Eldrador mythical creature. Who knows? I just saw it in a charity shop the other day and it had Schleich on the bottom, so I picked it up. Cost 50p. Should have like a crystal thing like he's got on his back in his hand. But who cares? He hasn't got one. Sold in a couple of days for £6 on Vinted plus post. And that's it.
We hope you enjoyed this video. We shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.